Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Desert Sky Adventures. Today, Jennifer and I are about 10 miles west of Tombstone, give or take, down Charleston Road. And today we're out here looking for the remnants of both Charleston and Millville, two old towns that no longer exist. And we've actually never been out here before, so this is our first time going exploring in this area. As always, you are invited to grab your hiking boots and come along with us. Our journey today begins at the old Charleston Road Bridge, which is in between Sierra Vista and Tombstone, just off Charleston Road. And it's a bridge I've driven past many times, but I've never actually stopped to walk over it until today. I couldn't find too much history about this bridge, but I believe it was built sometime between 1917 and 1927. The newer, more modern bridge stands right next to the old one. What's more interesting is not the bridge itself, but what happened just underneath it in December of 1846, when the Mormon Battalion followed the San Pedro River north from the U.S. border with Mexico into what is now Cochise County, Arizona. The change in landscape provided water, firewood, and meat from numerous cattle roaming the area. On December 11, 1846, the battalion had its only major battle of their journey when a number of wild bulls charged and dusty, chaotic melee ensued. The rampaging bulls charged on and on. There was great confusion and fear. At least 3 men of the battalion were injured, 3 mules were gored to death, and some of the wagons had been overturned. At least 9 of the bulls were killed by members of the battalion. Reports do not state the reason for the attack with certainty, but following all that, the group traveled along the San Pedro River for a short while and camped for the night. Today there is a historical marker set up next to the site to commemorate this event. The colors along the San Pedro River are quite beautiful, especially this time of year. From there we hit the trail and headed east towards what was left of Millville. As it turns out, Charleston is west of the river and Millville is to the east. And today we're heading east, so we'll have to come back another time to check out Charleston. Along the way we found this sign. I didn't think there'd be a whole lot to dig or remove, but I couldn't be more wrong. Millville was one of 2 towns born at this location from the late 1870s mining boom in the region. It was the first established and became the working heart of the community. The site of 2 ore stamp mills straddling the San Pedro River. Charleston was the second town established on the western side of the river, largely a residential community. Both towns started to decline in the 1880s as nearby Tombstone depleted its resources, and these sites became less profitable. And by 1890, Millville was a ghost town. Today there's not much that remains of Millville, other than a few foundations, scattered bricks, and plenty of metallic objects laying on the ground. There was also plenty of remnants of what I believe to be parts of the old railroad, as the old rail bed is only about 50 yards away from my location. These bricks. There was a lot of really cool old stuff just scattered all over the place, but remember, it's not legal to take anything from here, so don't do that. And here's something I don't think I've ever seen, some cactus growing out of a concrete foundation. Pretty crazy. I found another one of those up there. Continuing on the trail towards what would have been East Millville, we're heading towards those mountains back there to see if there's anything left of the big stamp mills. On the way, we pass another foundation and what looks like could be part of an old car. I don't know. I'm not too sure what this is. We'll come back and see the Petroglyph trail in just a little bit, but we're going to continue on the Millville trail for now. Well, it looks like we made it to the first Petroglyph site. According to the sign right there, scientists estimate that some of these petroglyphs could be as much as 2,000 years old. We're getting closer to those hills now where the old stamp mills used to be. I'm really looking forward to seeing if there's anything left up there. I spotted this piece of broken rock that looks like it might have petroglyphs on it. I'm not too sure. I didn't know it at the time, but we were about to stumble on some very interesting ruins just up here on the hill. This foundation here is all that remains of the Richard Gird house. Richard Gird was an extremely wealthy mining engineer who set up shop for the Tombstone Mill and Mining Company right here in the same building as his home. For an Old West miner, Richard Gird was concerned with style, taste, and quality. Fortress-like, the adobe walls were nearly 3 feet thick. Described by the Arizona Citizen as a model of architecture and without question the finest building in southern Arizona. On the north side is the director's room, the secretary's office, and the essay office. In the secretary's office is a large ornamental vault made with 1/4-inch wrought iron with a burglar-proof door. On the south side of the building are the bedrooms and the dining room. Through the center is a spacious hall running east and west, and a broad veranda surrounds the whole building. It's kind of hard to believe that I'm walking on the foundation of a house that once had walnut furniture, carpet throughout, and each bedroom had a cozy fireplace. Many weddings, parties, and special events were held here, and orchestras could often be heard playing into the wee hours of the morning. In 1881 alone, Millville produced $1.3 million in silver. Did this kind of money attract thieves? You bet it did. Robberies were attempted, but none succeeded. Gerd anticipated the threat, and the safe was never used for silver. Instead, hiding places dug into the adobe walls were hidden with movable panels. Today, this foundation is all that remains of Gerd's lavish house and mining offices. Now that we've located the Richard Gerd house, we can tell from old photos that what's left of the big stamping mill should be directly in front of us. But this is where the trail kind of ends, so we had to make our own path over to the edge of the cliff to see if anything was left. We are now standing on the top level of where that giant stamp mill used to be.
Careful. I wouldn't go any further than that. Look.
Maybe this is where the bridge used to be. I believe we are now standing in the exact spot where the bridge seen in this photo connects to the actual mill. You can see Gerd's house in the background there. But looking down the edge of the cliff, there's plenty of remnants of the industry that used to occur here.
Yeah, let's look.
Stamping mills of this design were built into the hillside with the help of retaining rock walls to keep everything from falling in. Today, the rock walls are all that remain. It's been shot at a couple times. From there, we hiked back down the hill and back onto the Petroglyph Trail, which at the base of those mountains are a number of rocks that supposedly have some petroglyphs on them. We're heading over there now to check it out. The hill in front of us has a bunch of rocks with petroglyphs on them, and I was able to make out a couple of them even though I didn't climb up the hill. Once you get to this point, if you head in northwestern direction around the little mountain, you'll find the old rail bed, which is the same one I found down in Millville.
Yeah.
So rather than walking through the maze of uphill and downhill that we took to get here, we'll just take the rail bed back to our car. Here's a third one of these J-hook looking things we found on the ground. Not sure what they were for. Maybe part of an old train car or something? Interesting. We followed the rail bed for a few miles until we got back into where Millville used to be. And that was about the point where we're ready to call it a day. All right, well, there you have it, our day along the San Pedro River, and we found what was left of Millville. Pretty interesting day. I didn't expect to find all that stuff out there, but we kind of stumbled onto it. But anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you did, do us a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. If you like our videos and you want to give us a hand, go ahead and hit that join button, and you can learn how to become an exclusive Desert Sky Adventures member, getting you access to exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. But we do appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, until the next video, we'll see you down the road.